Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy's show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this right here is Tom Clark's Main Event. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. They call me the Mandarin. I have a lot of accessories. Have you guys ever noticed accessories? The accessories are on point. Look at this. Just saying. Happy Friday, kids. What's going on? Glad to see you. Welcome back to the program. This is episode number 295. Episode 300. Episode 300 is fast approaching. How's everybody doing out there today in podcast land? We hope you're doing fantastic. Happy New Year to you, kids. How did you celebrate your new year? Did you do something you're not proud of? Do you need bailing out of jail? My best friend's an attorney. I got your hookup. So, I had a good weekend last weekend, kids. I had a great 2 weeks, actually. Everything was awesome. So I have no complaints. I kept the hoodie on because I'm cold. And yes, I've got coffee. Wakanda Forever. No, I've not seen the movie yet because I'm a horrible human being. So don't nobody ruin it. I still have to go make it happen. Let's say some hellos. Who gets the first hello of the new year? Sugar Shane, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Jeff Powell, how are you? Anna, have you ever watched my show before? Thanks for hanging out. Carlos Martinez, what's going on, my friend? Ray All Day is here. What's going on? Mean Gene in the house. Good to see you. Double V, Victor Vasquez. Robbie, what's going on? Good to see you, man. Will, what's going on, dude? Carlos Martinez, how you doing, my friend? E, what's going on? E's already giving me crap. Yeah, I'm not gonna put your stupid comment up on the screen. Wilf, happy New Year, my friend. Welcome to the show. Yep, this is the first time. We haven't seen you guys since last year. You know what I mean? It's a heck of a long time. We should hang out more. So, yeah, man, happy New Year to you. Hope 2023 is treating you well so far. Let's adjust the lighting. One day I'll get it right. That's as low as she can go. How low can you go? Hope 2023 is treating you right. So, we got lots to talk about. Have you heard any good stories lately? All right. So, if I told you I knew it was coming, if I told you that I knew this was going to happen, I don't know that I did or didn't. Can I be honest with you? I don't know that I did. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But if I told you I knew 100%, I would be wrong because no one knows everything 100%. He's back. And no, I'm not talking about me. Vince is back, kids. I mean, here's a couple of things that I know for sure I can tell you. The board didn't want him back. The guy's guilty of some pretty bad stuff. Can we just all be honest about this right now? The board didn't want him back because of that, because of, controversy. They shouldn't have wanted him back. I can also tell you the stock price supposedly went through the roof, not went through the roof, but rose upon word of him coming back. Here's the latest. A Friday SEC filing confirmed that former WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon is officially back on the company's board of directors, with 3 existing seat holders ousted and 2 others resigning. The Wall Street Journal broke the news on Thursday that McMahon was planning to return to WWE in order to pursue a sale and to be involved in upcoming media rights deals. So let's don't forget let's call it right down the middle, kids. Let's talk about what the guy was in trouble for to begin with, for paying money into multiple hush fund payouts, as they're called, to women who allege sexual misconduct. It came out in December, as we talked about here on the show when it happened. The rumor mill was spinning that he was wanting to come back. And it is what it is. How's the stream looking here today to you kids? Am I freezing or fuzzy or anything like that? The signal's not great on my end. I'm at home now. I was at the office all day. But yeah. What's up, Air Jackson? What's going on, my friend? Look at who you talking to, Victor. Of course I did. We're going to talk about it today too. I promise you. Yeah, did you see all that, by the way? Embarrassing. I continue to be embarrassed. I really am. It's absolutely ridiculous. They don't want me and I'm underqualified for sure. Thank you, Brendan. So we knew this day was going to come. Do you want to know why I knew? How we all knew? Because nothing lasts forever. My show, though I have no intention of ever stopping the main event, is not going to last forever. All of us won't hear forever. Not to get morbid on you, but we're all going to shuffle off this mortal coil at some point in time. Yeah, I know. We don't want to think about it, but it's going to happen eventually, right? We've all got the clock's ticking, kids. We've all got an expiration date. My show has an expiration date. WWE has an expiration date. AEW, the planet, right? Everything's got an end. It's just that for people who have been fans of this particular company since they were kids, they just didn't think that was going to happen. That eventually, the Stephanie would take over, would always remain inside the McMahon family. And we all kind of saw the writing on the wall over the past several years that the bigger they got, the more unlikely that was going to be. They were going to eventually take a payout, sell their company, and cash in. So do I think it's going to happen? Here's what I'll tell you. A lot of this smells a little bad, in my opinion, because what's happening is the TV rights deals are coming up and they haven't renegotiated contracts, I'm assuming with Fox and USA Network. And so until those things happen, they can sell the company because nothing's being re-signed with anyone. Get it? So if Hulu jumped in and offered however much they want to offer for this thing and bought it, and the McMahons agreed and the board agreed, then the Hulu would then own WWE and then own it and stream, have all the exclusive streaming rights, and you'd be watching Monday Night Raw on Hulu. See? So the thought is supposedly that Vince behind the scenes was like, look, you guys let me back in. And if you don't let me back in, then when you try to shop this thing around to the highest bidder, I will vote no. Now, here's the fun part. Okay. The fun part is that once he is reestablished, which he already is, he doesn't have to sell it to anybody. He can now say within the next 2-3 weeks, whatever that looks like, he can suddenly say, well, the window's passed. We had time, but we just couldn't nail anything down. We're going to keep the company. I'm back on TV like nothing happened. Think that can't happen? Think I'm full of mud, do you? Time will tell. E. Horrible idea, E. That dude can't run the businesses he has. That dude can't run the businesses he has. Ray says, all I know is I'm not paying money to anybody if I know I'm not guilty. CRP. Oh, I dig your avatar. What's up, man? How are you? Speaking of Avatar, guess who watched the first Avatar film for the first time New Year's Eve weekend? I'm serious. The fanboy that I am, I had never watched Avatar. I just never gave it a chance. It's a good flick. There's some holes in it. There's some stuff I don't understand. Some of the characters are, in my opinion, poorly written. But I didn't hate the movie at all. I enjoyed it, actually. It's a good movie. I didn't hate it at all. Let's see what else. I'm trying to see some good comments here. What do you guys feel about this? Who would you like to see them? By the way, everybody here, smash the like button for me. Smash that like button and share this feed in your or share this stream in your feed, if you will. It means loads to me. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Who would you guys like to see? You know what I mean? Who do you want to see buy the company? Because I got thoughts. Here's one of the things that started going around the horn. One of the things that started going around the horn was, what if Tony Khan were to buy it? Now, people say, well, Tony Khan doesn't have the money. I wouldn't let money stand in the way of a good story ever. And the thought of Tony Khan buying WWE is hilarious. Probably not going to happen. Notice how I say definitely won't happen, because people who walk around talking about it definitely won't happen are dumb. Okay, because that's a dumb thing to do. You never say never in the business of professional wrestling. Hearing the talk, and recently on Twitter, he did have a comment to make. Everyone at work is being so nice to me these past 24 hours. I wonder why. It must be belated holiday spirit. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. You don't like that, you don't have a sense of humor. Get a sense of humor. Relax. These are just jokes. Life is too short to take it too seriously, baby. Know what I mean? Everybody relax. Just saying. Yeah, dude. It's just yeah. I mean, yeah. Ooh. Someone's gonna have to have some deep pockets to buy this company. And there are suitors out there. Okay. There are people out, there's companies out there would love to get their hands on WWE, because WWE is proven content. What do streaming services want more than anything else? Content. Content, content, content. Content is king. Content is king. Remember back when HBO Max started and NBC created Peacock and Netflix found itself in a little bit of a pickle because they were losing content left and right? Dude, they threw streaming deals at anybody that had a good idea at that point, because they were scared to death of losing content. It's all about content. Content is king. Okay. So that's what we're talking about here. People love that stuff. And WWE, for better or worse, honestly, WWE is a full-time pro wrestling company. No reruns, original episodes every week. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more, original. It is what it is. That appeals to a lot of people. Jeffrey said, Ted furnished by WWE. Wouldn't that be something? I'm in the pro wrestling business, pal. E says the Saudi king should buy WWE. E, I think he already has. That's more of a deep meaning joke than it is a literal statement. You know what I mean? Orlando, what's up, brother? Who do I think will purchase WWE? I don't think we're looking at one single person, though I could be wrong. I think it'll be a company. I still believe NBC is probably going to be in the running if they want it. I think a streaming service like Hulu would be crazy not to put a bid in. Netflix owns everything, it seems like. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. I don't really have a prediction. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think? Robbie says, here's a way out their concept, but take The Rock, DDP, RKO, Stone Cold, Foley, and make a conglomerate that they buy it together. I don't think all those guys together have enough money. And plus, DDP, what's his net worth? No disrespect, but I mean, if we're putting him on the same level as The Rock, the group that brought the Denver, who did buy the Denver Broncos? Orlando, good point. Disney's the one that we've heard the most about. Disney owns everything now. They own Star Wars franchise. They own Marvel. They own a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Brennan says, I can see NBC. They have done business with WWE for sure. Carlos says, LeBron James. What do you guys think about the new House Party flick? I may go check that out. Yeah, this is really, really big deal. I mean, again, knew eventually things were going to happen with this company. And I said for years, everybody that's ever listened to my show or watched my show and or both have heard me say and watched me say for years that no company's going down. If WWE ever changes or ever morphs or ever whatever, it's going to be by their own hands. So it looks as though they won't implode. It'll just be sold. Now, what happens to the company from that point on? Here's my question. Whoever they choose to sell the company to, if indeed a sale does happen, I'm not convinced it will. But if they do indeed sell the company, do you think that company is going to want to put pro wrestling people in charge? Think about that. Are we going to be in the same boat we were in for years and years and years when you had a bunch of people that don't know how pro wrestling works writing Monday Night Raw and writing Friday Night SmackDown? My answer is 100% yes. I don't see pro wrestling people being brought in for any reason at all. But I've been wrong before. I could be wrong about this. Who knows, kids, what could happen? So, yeah, that's your two biggest headlines of the day. And, we'll see. Let's talk a little bit now. Let's switch gears if we can, because I really want to. I really want to switch gears right now. Because I got some stuff I want to talk about here. And apologies for not being prepared. I had a big day today. Well, to a certain degree. A lot to do anyway. Let's talk about Wrestle Kingdom 17. The latest out of New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom hit over 92,000 unique worldwide viewers who watched the show live. It's a record for that company. Congratulations to them. Good to see it. Always good to see new viewers watching, unique viewers watching. Let's run down this card. Ryue, and I always mispronounce his name. Yeah. Let me hear it and I'll be okay. Ryue Owaya. Versus Oleg Bolton ended in a time limit draw. It was an exhibition match. Two young boys, of course. The Great Okan, Shingo Takagi, Sho, and Toru Yano advanced in the four-way match. New Japan Rambo to determine who will challenge for the provisional KOPW 2023 championship in New Year's Dash. We'll talk about New Year's Dash also, which I am not even caught up on yet. Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Togi Makabe defeated Tatsumi Fujinami, the legend, Minoru Suzuki, the legend, and Tiger Mask by pinfall in the Antonio Inoki Memorial six-man tag team match. Catch 2-2, TJP and Francesco Akira with Gideon Gray defeated Leo Rush and Yo by pinfall. Tag team match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships. Really solid match there. Fun to watch. I'm not a big TJP guy, but it is what it is. Catch 22, I should say. Excuse me. Kari defeated Team Nakano by pinfall, and we got the debut of Mercedes Moné. Now, I want to hear all you good people out there bash the woman formerly known as Sasha Banks. Talking about it didn't look good. She dropped her, blah, 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 blah. Let's hear all the people hate on her because she's no longer working for the McMahon family, because that's what it really amounts to here, kids, doesn't it? Isn't that what we're talking about? Isn't that what we're talking about? I'm not talking about all you guys, but I'm saying for the most part, that's why people don't like things. You show your colors when you don't like things. You know what I mean? When people say that she was horrible, it was terrible, it was wretched, is that the truth, or is that just because she's not in your favorite company anymore? And guess what? It's okay to have a favorite company. I'm not hating on you for that. It's all right. It's perfectly all right to have a favorite company. It's nothing to me. I don't care. But it just bothers me. It just bothers me just a little bit when I hear opinions come out of I don't know if ignorance is the right word. When I hear, opinions come out of stubbornness and unwillingness to change or try something new, that's what irritates the devil out of me. I just don't get that. There's so much wrestling in the world to watch at this point. You could never watch WWE again and still watch some fantastic wrestling and some fantastic companies all throughout the world at this point. Done by commentators that you'll never know their language, but fantastic wrestling matches. You know what I mean? WWE is not the only game in town, kids. It hasn't been in years. So let's all try to remember that, okay? I thought she looked great. I love the new hair. I love the new look. I love that she teased certain things. She looked like she had the boss ring on still. I love that she teased it. She got up on the ring apron. She didn't do that thing where she went with the rings. She didn't do that. There's a lot of things that she could have done that she didn't do. Not crazy about the song, but that's just me. That's just me. I think it fits her though, and I think she's going to be great. The thing with Kari, they probably rehearsed that 1,000 times, maybe not 1,000. That might be too much, but I'm sure no one was more upset about how that little spot went down than she was. But good on Mercedes, man. I'm happy for her. I'm glad to see her back in the ring again. I think this thing's going to be good. I think it's going to be fun. Can't wait to see what happens. We all know she's going to be Soraya's tag team partner, right? We know this. We all know this. This whole thing with Soraya and Tony Storm is just a swerve. It's just a swerve, kids. So everybody relax. It's going to happen. It's going to be Soraya and Mercedes Moné. Ray says, is she a heel? I don't know that she'll be a heel. I don't know if it makes sense to push her as a heel at the gate because people are going to cheer like crazy for her. There you go. Rob says that before she gets to do what she loves to do, no matter what company she goes to, 100% agree. Mig Nate Dog, my producer of the show here, kids, please welcome Mr. Workman to the show. Nate and I have done several episodes of the 6M podcast together. By the way, kids, in case you don't know, Tom Clark's 6M podcast focuses on music, movies, music, Marvel magazines, miniseries, and more, and is available on all the major platforms. Subscribe today, kids. You'll love it. Trust me. We have a blast doing that show. Jeffrey says we have to be open to change because we change, we get more unique matches and new things happening. 100% could not agree more. As I said, I'm happy for her, man. As I said, she looked good. I think she's going to do great. I'm excited to see what happens for her moving forward. Bishamon, that's Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi to you, defeated FTR. What about that spot with Yoshihashi and Cash Wheeler going over the top rope, or Dax Harwood going over the top rope? If that wasn't frightening to you, nothing is. If that doesn't scare you, nothing will. Because I legit thought Yoshihashi had broken his neck at that point or broken his skull. On the ring apron, did you see that spot? My God in heaven. New Japan's fun, insanely fun to watch, and also hard to watch a lot of times because of the chances some of these guys take. But this match was really, really good. They lost the tag team championships, of course. Bishamon are the new IWGP tag team champions. Good for them. They definitely earned it as a tag team. I've always loved Hiroki Goto. Yoshihashi, I'm a fan. It took me a few years, to be honest with you, but I'm a fan. Yoshihashi has definitely won me over. Definitely won me over. It was a really, really good match. What do you guys think about this? Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you, man. On Rush Hour, did you like it? The sound on my voice wasn't great, and I didn't know it till I went to produce the audio. So I'm not sure what happened. It bugs me to no end. I tried to clean up the audio as much as I could, but it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Still not great. But at some point, I got to put the episode out. So it is what it is. But hopefully next time, everything will be a little bit cleaner. A little bit cleaner. He says, breaking news, I won as many matches as the bum Adam Cole this year. Jeez. You know Ray all day still here, right? The boy's messaging me, by the way. Yeah, anyway, sorry. He spent the night with a friend of his and he wants to do it again tonight. No boy 2 nights in a row. I'm lost without that kid. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. Ooh, Ray, that's just gross. So don't quote me on this, Jumping Jeff. Don't quote me on this. But I think maybe FTR is heading back to WWE as the Revival. Now, don't quote me. That's just me talking. It doesn't mean I'll be right, but it sure feels as though they're heading back. However, the Guns did that thing on Dynamite the other night where they came out and celebrated the death of FTR. Kind of tells me that they're not done. I don't want to see FTR go back, but that's just me. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see them go back. I'd like to see them stay in AEW for a good long time, but that's me talking, right? But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they went back. Where do you guys want to see them work? So, I mean, I can tell you all day what I think, but I want to hear what you guys think. Where do you guys want to see FTR wrestle? And who do you want to see them wrestle as? Yeah, I agree, Vic. They dropped all those belts for a reason. The time might be here for them to move on, but I don't know that for sure. That'd just be my guess. Jeff says, either way, whether it's WWE or AEW, FTR all day long. I agree. Will says AEW. Ray says territory should go anywhere but WWE. I'd love to see them spend some time in New Japan, but I don't know that Cash has like a family, but of course we know Dax does, and he has a kid and everything. So whether or not that'd be feasible in the long term, maybe not. Feasible in the short term, perhaps. We'll see. I just don't want them to leave. Nate says maybe they can come back to WWE is the FTR experience, kind of like the Viking experience. Yeah. FTR could create their own company. They love old school pro wrestling, man. I mean, it's entirely possible. They could do anything they wanted to. Chris, no problem, man. We're still rolling. Larry, what's up, dude? Do you agree with Jim Cornette saying FTR is being booked horribly because the Young Bucks are threatened by them? Absolutely freaking not. You have to remember the source, and Cornette hates AEW. He's as jaded can be. He loves FTR. He loves no one else except MJF. So, yeah. Remember the source, Larry. I disagree. Carlos says, go where the money is. I can't disagree with him. I can't. I won't. Ray says, how's the boys' hoops team? Well, they didn't play at all this week, and he's not heading back to school till Monday. And I think their first game back is Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday, Thursday next week, I believe. So we'll see. They weren't doing well. They were 2-9. Ooh, yeah. Yikes. HR getting all the love from the rub them boys gave them. Yeah, no kidding. That's funny. Man, those two teams. I want to see another match. I really do. May not see anytime soon, but I'd love to. Rob says, Mom, the night on Dynamite was MJF name dropping and had the nerve to drop Disco Inferno. It's so funny. Wasn't that funny? So funny. Stretch the truth. Darn near tear it in half. That's what I say. Do they stretch the truth? Are you kidding me? As biased can be. That's the truth. That's the truth. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Ren Narita, tournament final for the inaugural NJPW World Television Championship. Zack Sabre, back with TMDK. He is your new and first ever NJPW World Television Champion. Yes, the belt looks horrible. It's wretched. It's hot garbage. But it was a good match. Ren Narita is one of the next big things in that company and in the world, in my opinion. He's going to be a big deal. And it looks now as though Ren Narita is throwing in with Minoru Suzuki. What? Isn't that something? Tama Tonga defeated Carl Anderson to become the never ever openweight champion. Really, really good match. People throw hate at Carl Anderson, and I can get a lot of it, but he and Tama usually have really good chemistry together, and they really did on this night as well. Good match. Keiji Muto, that's the great Muta to you. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shota Umino, also known as Shooter Umino, defeated Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Bushi. 6-man tag team match. This was Muto's last match ever. Congratulations, Keiji Muto, on a fantastic career. Good luck in the future. And man, to see that guy go, that's the end of a legend right there. The last match of a legend. So yeah, one of a kind is the great Muta for sure. Hiromu Takahashi defeated Taji Ishimori, El Desperado, and Master Wato by pinfall for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. And I was really hoping this was Master Wato's night. Honestly, I really wanted Wato to win the belt. That kid's come a long way, everybody. Let's get to the top two matches of the night. Kenny Omega with Don Callis defeated Will Ospreay to become the IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. Dude, these two guys flat out killed each other. I'm telling you right now, Will Ospreay is a machine just as much as Kenny Omega is. They absolutely trashed each other. Did you see Ospreay at New Year's Dash? Just torn to shreds, dude. This guy was torn to shreds. I mean, physically just destroyed, man. I mean, they gasped when they came out the curtain, didn't they? Because I mean, I did too. I'm like, no way is he working this match. No way is he got here with United Empire. Boy, was I wrong. What a match, dude. Those two guys absolutely brought it. A lot of scary moments in that match, too. They bring everything they have and then some. Again, terrifying, some of these spots. Looks like, why are we taking these chances? Keep in mind also, kids, that a lot of the spots that we see may not be quite as bad as they appear. Sometimes it looks as though, oh my God, he almost killed him. Actually, the dude had full control during the entire match. But, a lot of not all of it, but a lot of this is in how we perceive it to be. Does that make sense? CRP says, got a favorite match from last year. We just did the top tens on Wrestling Geeks Alliance and had to lump all of FTR and Briscoes into one position. Makes sense. It's hard to separate them, isn't it? It's hard to separate them for sure. Jeff says, awesome for Tama Tonga getting a singles title for sure. I think Tom is going to go places as a singles wrestler. CRP says, I'm not a Good Brothers fan. That being said, I love Carl Anderson when he is on NJPW run. Yeah, he's a different guy, isn't he? Him and Gallows it's the same team, but it's a different vibe when they're in Japan. They're just a lot looser. Like they're loose here too, but it just feels more like a controlled environment. No matter, especially in WWE. Oh my God, they were controlled 6 ways from Sunday in that company. But New Japan, it just feels like they're just going with the flow. It just feels like two different guys sometimes. Larry says, I don't think Cornette hates AW. Dude, come on. Come on, Larry. He's hard on them because he sees the potential. I vehemently disagree. He's much tougher on WWE. He won't even watch Raw. Larry, I politely but vehemently disagree with that statement. I think he absolutely hates AEW. He's called Tony Khan a money mark for years. This guy would be perfectly fine if that company shut down tomorrow. Not because he wants talents out of work, which, by the way, anyone hoping for that, that's what you're hoping for. Just so you know. Just so you know. When it interferes with someone's beloved WWE, we don't want that. Okay, but you're talking about wrestlers being out of a job, cameramen, the guys that put the ring together, the people that behind the scenes, the people in the hierarchy, innocent people that drive the trucks, that haul the equipment, that set things up, that tear them down. All those people, an entire ecosystem out of a job. That's what we're talking about. Out of a job. Not that anybody here is saying that. I'm just saying in general. Whenever someone starts going nuts, excuse me. What I see. V says I can see Ospreay in the Royal Rumble. I cannot. Never say never, Vic. I'm not saying never right now. I would be shocked to see Will Ospreay in a WWE ring. He's made it clear through the years, just as much as Jay White has, that WWE was never a goal. It was never a destination. For a lot of the top guys in that company today, WWE was the destination. Not all of them, but for a lot of them, WWE was the destination. That's not the case for Ospreay. It's not the case for Jay White. It's not the case for a lot of other people in other companies. They just never cared about WWE. Now, could we see it? Sure, we could see anything. Anything's possible. I would just be very surprised. CRP says, Kenny hold my beer Omega, what I consider his comeback match. Ospreay should have been higher on my favorites from last year, but it was a down year for NJPW, honestly. I can kind of see that to a certain extent. I can kind of see that. Jeff says Ospreay and Omega left it all out there. All out there. So awesome. Yeah, really good. Really good match. CRP says they just get too goofy for no good reason. Good Brothers in America versus NJPW. 100% agree. CRP also says NJPW and AEW would figure out a way to make Ospreay's money to make sense. No reason for him to go to be. The only reason, in my opinion, like I'm Will Ospreay here, the only reason, in my opinion, it would make sense for him to ever go to McMahon's company is because it's something new he's never done before, and he wants to see if he can do it, if he's up for the challenge. But, we're talking about relocating to the States, pulling up everything that you love from people you know and hang out with and your routine. And, I remember when Taz left ECW. This was years later, but he did this interview and he talked about leaving ECW, that he had basically won everything in that little company. And they gave him the title again. He's like, all right, great. Now what? Now what do I do? What's left? So that's why he went to WWE. Not because WWE was the destination, but because he's like, I got nothing left to do here. I've done everything. So that's kind of maybe where and a Will Ospreay could be one day. I don't know. I don't know. Ray All Day says I heard a rumor that Adam Cole will start a new Bullet Club. Any truth to that? Adam Cole seems to flourish. He seems to flourish when he has a team under him, when he has a unit or a faction. I wouldn't be surprised. We'll see what happens. How fitting would it be if a conglomerate bought WWE and it was backed by Kevin Von Erich, Jerry Jarrett, and the Crockett family? Stunning. It wouldn't be fitting. It would be stunning. I mean, Shane, brother, no disrespect. Would it make sense for any of these people to even want to get back into the business on that level again? No, not fitting. Shocking. It's intriguing. It's water cooler talk today. Yes. The main event: Kazuchika Okada defeated Jay White to become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. I continue to say on the podcast for years now, as long as Kazuchika Okada, by the way, who's only 35. He's only 35. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, he's only 35 years old, but Kazuchika Okada has already been considered the greatest in the world for years now. And, sometimes that statement will be made in the country of Japan and not really get out of the borders of Japan. But thanks to NJPW World, thanks to fans who can't get enough of this guy and people studying his matches, other pros in the business who study his work and say, oh my God, this Okada guy is the real deal. In my humble opinion, Okada's the best in the world. And I was going to say it's not even close, but that's not fair. He's number one in my opinion. And as long as he wants to be a wrestler until he gets to be, and no disrespect intended to Kojima or Nagata, no disrespect, until he gets to be 50 and loses, he's lost 10 steps and he's just there because he loves the business and he's putting other guys over. He's going to be the best in the world, my opinion. Could I see him in WWE? The only reason, in my opinion, again, to ever go to WWE is because just to say you'd done it. In my opinion, they would never treat him the way that he would be treated now. He would never be Kazuchika Okada. He certainly wouldn't be the Rainmaker. No chance. His days of having 35, 40, 50-minute matches would be over. It'd all be over. It'd be some interesting matches to see him in, him and Seth Rollins, him and Roman Reigns to some degree. But no, it just wouldn't. But this is just me talking. This is just me talking, man. So what'd you guys think about the main event? Here's what I'll tell you for sure. And by the way, he's only in his second reign as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. It's now World Heavyweight Champion. He's held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 5 times. So technically this is 7 times as the champion of that company. Make sense? There you go. He and Jay White do one thing very good together. You know what that is? Wrestling. They're really, really great separately. And together, they're equally as great. They're so good together. It's like Lennon and McCartney when you get them in the ring. Dude, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, and I'll tell you you're crazy. Jay White and Kazuchika Okada in the ring are like Lennon and McCartney. They're that good together, I believe. I don't know if they're Dusty and Rick good, because that's a tall order. I don't know if they're Rick and Steamboat good. That's a tall order as well. But they're pretty darn good. Everyone, please welcome the show from Peaches and Power Bombs. She's the first Peach. Don't let the other one tell you anything. When the other one hears this, she's going to go, what did he say about me? Marie, how are you? You know I love you. I miss you. When are we going to do shows together again? What's up? Holler at your boy. I mean, I guess you're doing that now. Ray said Jay White best heel ever. Ooh, that's a big bold statement. You mean ever, like ever and forever? Ooh, That's a big statement, baby. I don't know if I agree with that. To each his own. JD talking about, hello. Have I missed your comment somewhere, dude? If I did, I apologize. I apologize. Yeah, it was fantastic. Again, all they do is wrestle amazing matches together. Amazing matches. CRP says, if COVID didn't happen, Jay White would be in talks for MVP. And his run got murdered by COVID. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? He's good. He's good. What does he do after this? What's he do after this? Something good, something juicy. Okay, cool, man. Ray says no, currently. Yeah, between him and MJF, who would you think? Who's a better heel? MJF or Jay White? That's how they announce him in New Japan. I really like it. Who's a better heel today, right now? Jay White or MJF? Hey, man, I don't know. I'm asking you. I'm asking you guys, dude. What do I know? I'm just asking a question. What did you guys think about seeing Shinsuke Nakamura in Pro Wrestling Noah? CRP's got an opinion about that, I'll bet you. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. Because, yeah. Yeah. What have you got? You guys been watching AEW lately? What do you think? David Down Under, good morning to you, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Jumpin' Jeff says, how long until WWE start releasing everyone that came back? Well, let Vince get settled in, then we'll answer that question, right? Because I'll tell you this. If they're shopping that company around, if they will be, they're going to start unloading some contracts like they did before. Remember when all that happened? And the rumors are going around they're unloading because of the sale? Mark my words, baby. Mark my words when I tell you, I may not be right. I may not be right. I'm saying. I would not be surprised at all if they started unloading some big money contracts. So maybe your question will be answered in short order. Short order. CRP says, hopefully teams with Chris Bay, Adam Cole comes back, and we get Elite versus those cats. Ooh, that'd be fun. Wouldn't that be nice? Robbie says, I know we touched on the subject, but some of us had lackluster holidays, so may need a chuckle. MJF buys WWE, pulls a Shane McMahon by doing dual satellite feed on Rampage and SmackDown to tell Vince, I bought WWE because I'm better than you and you know it. That's a lot of work you just did, but I appreciate the hustle. Man, people are infatuated with that era. This is not directed at you, Robbie. People are absolutely infatuated. You know how many people have told me the Attitude Era was the greatest era in the history of professional wrestling? I can't buy that. I just can't buy that. It was exciting. It was fun to watch. It was a train wreck at times. Can I buy it was the greatest era of all time? I don't buy it personally. I just don't. And I watched every bit of it live as it happened. I was that guy in a room full of other dudes flipping back and forth on a TV. We would have two TVs set up actually sometimes and flip back and forth between two different TVs. Truth. Yes, he did fire 3 board members. They've already they resigned. CRP says Nakamura looked happy and having fun, having a match for the first time in a long time. Yeah, I agree. I love Nakamura. Ray all day says love that Darby won the belt. I agree. You know, for a fact, he was in WWE. He'd never get, dude. I don't think he'd ever be in WWE. I'd be shocked if he was, because to your point, I don't think they would ever do anything for him. And listen, here's something I'd like to have happen right now. I'd like to see no more comparisons to Jeff Hardy. I know why we did it. I know why we all did it. He's very reminiscent of Jeff Hardy. But dude, in my opinion, Darby Allin has surpassed Jeff Hardy in terms of how insane he is. The crazy meter has gone off the charts. That sucker broke years ago with Darby Allin. Darby Allin's doing stuff he's got no business doing. Darby Allin gets up from stuff he's got no business walking away from. Darby Allin's walked away from several plane crashes over the years. I don't know how the kid does it. I don't know how he does it. CRP says, remember Styles versus Nakamura. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Nakamura is one of the best of all time. Will he be called that? Will he be called that in the long run? Because he spent all these years in WWE not being a world champion. I'm just asking a question. Marie says Attitude Era was not the best era. I'm glad they treat their women like human beings now. There you go. And look, if you're a lady, you have the right to wrestle half naked. You have the right to wrestle with booty shorts going way north of where they're supposed to lie on your lower regions. If that's what you want to do. Who am I to tell you can't look like that? Who am I to tell you can't do that? If you're a woman in this business, you're allowed to have an OnlyFans. It's your body. You can do what you want with it. I don't care. It's your choice. I would rather you have the choice than you not have it. It's your body. I don't have the right to tell you what to do. Having said all that, back in the day, to her point, WWE didn't treat their women very well. Now you're looking at me and you're saying, Tom, dude, they got paid, baby. They got paid. What are you talking about? They got paid and it's on TV. What's the problem? Were they paid as much as the men though? I would suspect not. I suspect they're not paid as much as the men now, right? And I would suspect that in pro wrestling, as has always been the case, you don't do what you're told, you lose your spot. Now, so according to a lot of people, some writers would have you believe that's no longer the case. I submit that it'll always be the case. Whether it's said or not, you don't want to lose your spot. You're afraid to say no. I suspect it'll always be that. It'll always be the case, right? Period. Okay? Always. So when the women are told during that today, you're going to have a gravy boat match tonight, and they go, okay. And then the guy walks off, they're like, geez, we just did this 2 weeks ago. Try not to take my, I don't want to get dirty. Try not to show my stuff to everybody when we get in there. Do you know what I mean? Imagine that's what you have to worry about when you go to work. And by the way, let's remember you have to be in perfect shape because everybody's going to see you naked. Everybody. I mean, everybody. That's some pressure. You think you got pressure at your job? Try being a woman knowing that you're going to be naked today. And you're not a stripper. Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, dude, I'm listen. Full disclosure, I'm a straight white guy. In case you didn't know, uh, I have nothing against the female body at all. I actually enjoy the female body, guys. Hoorah! All right, but during the Attitude Era, again, this no BS. I was in a room full of dudes, and when those matches happened, do you want to know what happened? This is hand to God. Hand to God. Everybody that I hung out with back in the day will tell you this much too. When those matches came on, you know what we did? Nitro. Back to Nitro. You want to know why? We were wrestling fans. We were wrestling fans. We just want to watch the wrestling. That stuff didn't matter. We weren't blind. We would say, ooh, look at her. Wow. Click. Now that's us. Evidently, it was good for ratings. WWE was through the roof. Hoo-ha, whatever. But for me, I was like, nah, I don't care about this. Dude, I still don't care about it. I want the wrestling. What are we doing? I'm not saying that to score points. I'm not saying that to score points. Someone says Mr. McMahon has the, I'm not putting your comment up, to take back his own life. Take back his own life? Is that what you call it? You know what the dude did? Take back his own life. Seemed like his life's been in his own hands for years, dude. For years. You kidding me? You kidding me? Vince been having some fun. All right. His life's been in his own hands for years. He's always been in charge. CRP says going back and watching a lot of the Attitude Era like a week-to-week review is very cringe. Thank you. You know how many times we had to hear the monk, the monk, ladies and gentlemen, The Rock talk about monkeys and monkeys' private parts on every episode on those promos. And this is going to sound like not just a little salt, a whole bunch of salt. Okay. And it's not meant to be. But when you find out that The Rock had a writer writing his promos for him, that change anything for you? Am I saying that word for no, not word for word, but he did have a writer working with him all the time. Did that change anything for you? Tom thinks The Rock can't talk. I never said that. Relax. But when you start looking behind the curtain of some things, you're like, eh. Listen, my friend, it's okay if we disagree, but you're going to have to watch where you step here because I'm about to just throw you all up out of this program. I'm trying to be respectful. What did he do that's wrong? He paid off women to keep silent who he had affairs with, and then he lied about it, and he used company money. You can't do that. It's illegal. What did he do wrong? My friend, if you would not be such a mark, ooh, did I say mark? If you would not be such a fan of Vince McMahon and be so in the bag for WWE, maybe you could see the truth. He's not a great guy. Newsflash, a lot of them aren't great guys. He's not the only bad dude to ever set foot in that business, ever. He's just the one we know right now. What did he do wrong? Come on, man. Let's be adults here. Let's be adults here. CRP says, I was not even referring to women's wrestling. There's a lot of terrible crap during the Attitude Era that gets booked on positive cause of nostalgia. Yeah, you're right. Get looked on positive. Yeah, you're right. Nostalgia is an interesting thing. An interesting thing. Alicia, how are you? The man needs to leave well enough alone. WWE is actually getting watchable for a change. And everyone said the same thing since he left. Everybody said the same thing since he left. Who said dummy? Dummy, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. Relax. Life's too short. Calm down. Jeff, thanks for hanging out, dude. Thanks for hanging out, dude. E says, who do you want to see go in the Hall of Fame this year? Well, I see 3-minute warning. Ooh. Well, listen, as I've said for years, this is not a true Hall of Fame because this Hall of Fame is decided on by one guy. So they can put whoever they want to put in it. It doesn't really matter to me. I know it matters to a lot of the talents, and I'm glad it does. It doesn't really matter to me what they do. Can I be honest? Ray all day, I patiently wait your question, my friend. We're getting to the top of the hour here. Brino, I'm sorry I missed you, my friend. What's up, dude? Here's something that a pro wrestler is used to hearing from another dude. Bruno Royce, I'll see you soon. Get it? Because it's wrestling and it's right. CRP says Vince never been a good guy even before the new stuff came out. Thank you. Maria says, I already knew it, but it didn't change anything for me. Rock's delivery was great and charismatic. 100% agree. I won't argue that. 100% agree. When Downey says something witty and great in a Marvel film, we don't talk about the fact that it was written for him, right? I meant no shade. There was no shade meant. It's just that when you look at a guy like Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair, John Moxley, CM Punk, who can do this like that, and you find out the guy that everyone's referred to as maybe the best talker of all time gets scripts handed to him. No disrespect. It doesn't matter what I think. Rock's got more money than I'll ever see in my life, and it's good. It's all good. But no, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of a weird, for me, maybe not for anybody else. Everyone, please welcome HPW Gary Benfield. AW is firing back up this year, kids. Everybody stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Sugar Shane says, do you go back and watch episodes of the main event I did the other day and I missed the man in the corner with the Funko Pops in the background? I don't watch my stuff back. I do listen to the 6Ms back because I've always said when it comes to my podcast, I want to produce the kind of content that I want to hear, that I'd listen to as a fan. So the 6M podcast is something I'd very much listen to, regardless of whether or not I was involved in it. That's the truth. It's not vanity talking. I enjoy listening to my shows, to the 6M. I really do enjoy listening to them because I have great co-hosts, and most of the time that co-host is Phil Lindsay, who does a bang up freaking job. My co-hosts are 10 times out of 10 better than the host is, because they bring excitement, they bring a different take than I have most of the time. They're happy to be along for the ride. They got great ideas, they got great takes. It's a pleasure recording with these guys. Let's see. Ray says Nas or Snoop Dogg. I'll go Snoop Dogg. Part 2, Pete Rock and CL Smooth or Beastie Boys. God, you got to stop doing that one to me. You've done that to me before, and that's hard. I'll go Beastie Boys this time. And if Adam Cole came to your house with Steph Curry to help the boys shoot 3-pointers and said, you can have a friend come watch, could I come? And later wanted to see new house party movie, could I come as well? Yes, Ray, all day, as always. Of course. I think the Rock's writer was Brian Gewirtz. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think that's who it was. Could be wrong. Who wins the Rumble, men or women? I still say that we're going to see Cody Rhodes win the Rumble. That's what I think. Women. Naomi? Take a shot in the dark and say Naomi. E, I'm going to take your stupid comment down because you're mean. My friends, I think we have a troll on the audience. I've been trying to be respectful to you, but I would like for you to have a respectful take and stop trolling, because your next comment is going to get you kicked from my show. I know you don't care because obviously you just sat here for the heck of it, but I don't suffer fools lightly. See that? Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. Lacey says there have been plenty like Vince that didn't hear about. He is just the one that got caught. Yeah, but to be fair, we've known about Vince for a long time. CRP says listening back to reviews is just kind of hard, even if you are mixing it to post it because you have watched all of it, talked about it, and then have to post it. Yeah, I agree. I rarely ever watch the main events back. When I do, when I have a full panel, when it's the 4 horsemen on here, it's me and Phil and 2 other guys from the Untitled Wrestling Pod. That's when I'll watch. Not when I'll watch, but when I'll watch is because it's much more fun with the full cast of characters. I'm gonna see if I can get everybody on the show next Friday. That'd be fun. That would be fun. Who is my favorite bassist? He says. I'll say James Jamerson. The guy was just phenomenal. That's a cheat answer, isn't it? Because James Jamerson is like everybody's answer for the best bassist of all time. Because he is the best bassist of all time. Paul McCartney's up there. Great bassist. God, that's a tough one. There's so many guys I love listening to. Bootsy Collins, great bassist. Yeah, there's a lot of good answers to that question, man. No kidding. A lot of good answers. Who will finally beat the Usos? If they go back, the Revival, in my opinion. Don't worry, Bruno. He's out. CRP says, I got Rock winning the Rumble for the men and Flair winning for the women's. I thought Flair won the title. Didn't they give the title back to Flair? Or is this just like I'm going to win and not have to defend the title kind of thing? Maybe. You got the Rock, huh? That's a yeah. Hey, could be. Yeah, I like Getty. I'm just not a Rush fan. You know what I think? I think you either are a Rush fan or you're not a Rush fan. There's no like, I kind of like Rush. Yeah, you either are or you aren't. Great answer, Wilf. Great answer. Lemmy was really, really good. Really good. Robert Trujillo from Metallica is really good. Man, that's hard. That's hard. John, was it John Deacon? Roger Deacon from the Queen from Queen. I always get his first name wrong. Is it Roger or John? Someone look that up for me. Why do I always get his first name wrong from Queen? I think it's John Deacon from Queen. Underrated bassist. Underrated. Oh, I see. She'll drop for then. Well, it could be. Could be. Cliff Burton, yeah. I mean, we didn't get enough of Cliff's work, really. I'm not disagreeing with you. Thank you. Roger Taylor's the drummer. Roger Taylor's the drummer, and John Deacon's the bass player, right? John Deacon's the bass player. Roger Taylor's the drummer, I think. I just did a Queen episode on the 6M also. We reviewed the first Queen album. Me and Phil did. I haven't put that episode out yet. So, yeah. I think it's Roger Taylor on drums and John Deacon on bass. The Royal Rumble is best event of the year because that's when we get the greatest and most people coming back and showing up for the first time. It's an exciting show. I'll probably even watch the Rumble myself. When you come to New York, I'll take you to an old school. Oh, really? Old school hip hop coffee shop? I'm so in for that. Are you kidding me? I got to get back to New York this year, man. That's the goal. Get back up to New York this year. Geezer Butler in my top 5 for sure. Don't tell me. Do not tell me. Geezer Butler. Why am I drawing a blank on who Geezer Butler played for? Don't kill me. Is it Black Sabbath? Is it Sabbath he played for? Don't shoot me. Why am I drawing a blank on this? I want to say it's Sabbath, is it? Gotcha. Awesome. Yep. By the way, Black Sabbath's never the wrong answer. Black Sabbath is never the wrong answer. You kidding me? Ever. Ever. All right, non-wrestling question. If you could take a lead singer, drummer, bassist, guitarist out of any bands to make it in, oh my God. Robbie, that's the best question you ever asked me. Whew, man, alive. Man, that's tough. I would cheat and say the Beatles because they had 4 of the best musicians of all time. That's my cheat answer. But if I actually had to piece a band together, I'll say on drums, I'm going to say Ringo Starr on drums because Ringo could do anything. And Ringo was a tight drummer who did what he had to do and never overpowered the song. He played where it made sense, and that's how he played. And I always appreciated that about him. So I'm going to say Ringo on drums, James Jamerson on bass. On lead guitar, I'll say, God, that's tough. Oh, that is so tough. You're killing me with this. All right, I'll say Ringo on drums. I'll say James Jamerson on bass. I'll say Freddie King on lead guitar. He could share lead vocals with the lead singer, who would be, oh, dude, you're killing me. Lead singer. I'm trying to think of a guy whose voice could do anything you wanted him to at any time, who would fit with any kind of music. That's tough. I'd like to say Marvin Gaye. How about Marvin Gaye on lead vocals, Freddie King on lead guitar, James Jamerson on bass, and Ringo Starr on drums? I'll take it. We're my music people in the house. That sound like an all-star band to you? Honestly. Excellent question. That one threw me for a loop. It's 6:07. We got to take this thing home. Let's see. Shane said, I'd like to see a match at Mania with Prince William and Harry. Yeah, I don't care about them. I appreciate your joke, but nah, I don't care about them. CRP says, Ray, I'll be up there in spring. Oh, hey, there you go. CRP going to come see you, Ray. Hey, Ray will totally meet you, dude. Ray's a good dude. Ray bought my dinner. I'm not offering for Ray to buy your dinner, so don't get upset if he says no. If you ever play with a drummer who says Ringo sucks, ask him to play act naturally. Yeah. If you ever play with a drummer that sucks, tell him to get out of your house or get out of the building. Ringo's exceptionally good. Exceptionally good. For sure. Jeff says, I know Shane. I agree with you about Seth and AJ. When you guys talk to each other, it makes me happy because none of y'all knew each other before my show came along. Let's all remember that. Other shows on the YouTube didn't bring people together the way the main event does, Jack, and that's the truth. That's the truth. I know a lot of you are watching Chris Featherstone. By the way, shout out to Chris Featherstone, Pancakes and Power Slams. That's my man right there. Great dude, by the way. Great dude. Always check out his show. He's very smart. He's a great person. Got a great head for the business. But I don't know that he brought people together the way I do. I unite people. You know what I mean? Unity. That's who I is. That's who I is. All right, we got a couple more. We're going to take this thing home, baby. We're after the top of the hour. I'm ready to start my weekend. What else we got? Hamlin, is that his name? Damar Hamlin? Listen, we nearly lost two excellent people this week. We can't afford to lose another Avenger. Don't want to see that happen again. So I'm very glad that Hawkeye is still with us. Jeremy Renner's still with us. Looks like he's going to make a recovery. Thank goodness for that, because that was scary, right? Damar Hamlin. Hamlin, is that right? God, I'm going to get his last name wrong. Apologies if I did. It was a scary thing. I've only watched it one time, and I'm not going to watch it again. It was terrifying. He's still in critical condition. We've lost some people coming in 2023. People tend to forget that every year in January, we lose like a bunch of people at one time that everybody knows. Happens every year. Happened last year too, I think. I think last year we lost Betty White and 2 or 3 others in the same 2 weeks, the first month of the year, I think. Happens every year. But we always forget. We always forget. I don't know why. But a speedy recovery to him, man. Please hang in there. No, I haven't mentioned Don West. Did I mention it last week? I think maybe I did, but I could be wrong. Yeah, condolences to his family and friends for sure, and his fans. Yeah, for sure. I got you, man. I got you. You kidding me? What do the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. Yeah. I've only watched that like 1,000 times. 1,000 times. I take this much credit for Peaches and Power Bombs. And I only take this much because neither one of them could envision themselves ever doing a podcast till I came along. So I take credit for that much. But the rest of it's all them. They're the ones doing the work. I don't produce their shows. They're the ones doing that. I take credit for the inspiration, which is this much. And I hang my hat on that because I'm proud of them. I love those two. You kidding? Yeah. They're great. All right, kids. Hope you've enjoyed the show. This was episode number 295. We are 5 episodes away from the big 300. You're going to see a brand new production when we come up with 300. I'll probably have a big cast of characters on board that day. I'll probably have all the guys here that can possibly be here that day live in a living color for you guys to take a look at and talk to. And again, we'll have new music, new intro, new logo and everything. I'm going to do it up right, baby. We're going to make this thing look fresh and popping fresh, actually. Can't wait for that. Everybody wishing me a great weekend. Please do the same for me. Everybody enjoy 2023, baby. We've all been through a lot, and those of us who are still here are lucky to still be here. A lot of us didn't make it since COVID, and count yourself among the lucky ones. If you're watching the show, count yourself lucky because you made it. Okay, so everybody hang in there, be good to each other. Everybody go watch you some pro wrestling this weekend. Everybody go subscribe to New Japan World because it's well worth your time and money. It'll set you back under $10 a month. Can't beat that. It's a great freaking show. It's a great freaking channel. You kidding me? Set yourself up with some wrestling on TV as well. But here's something even more fun. Go watch yourself some live pro wrestling, live and in person. You will not be sorry. I promise you. Go support your local pro wrestling promotion today. We're getting out of here, kids. Again, thank you as always. Everybody have the best weekend of all time. We'll see you next week. We're out of here. Perhaps. Now we are. Got to find the butt. What do you want from me? I'm out. See you next time, kids. Have a great one.